And thought I'd quilt a little bit. This is preview night. People walk through before the show starts. And so I'm just doing a little free motion doodling with the octahoops. This is at the Santa Clara Convention Center. This is Pacific International Quilt Festival, put on by Mancuso Show Management. So you can you can actually Google PIQF. I'll put a link in the description below after I stop. So let's see, I was having a little bit of fun here doing some different shapes because the fact that you write with the octahoops, you can actually draw different designs. And let's see, so it's Halloween, so we can actually draw a cat. Just like this. You gotta know what shape of cat you're gonna do before you begin. So we've got a little bit of a black cat ear. Well, I definitely draw a lot better when I'm not live. I did an owl before, and that was much better. Let's see here. So Pacific International Quilt Festival, and I'll give you a little sneak preview of my booth. This is my under the sea sewing machine, a little sea turtle that I've got on here, and this is the booth, and booth 1039, and it's sneak preview night, so there's not a lot of people. Just a little cruise through here. We do have the line of embroidery thread that's also great for quilting. That's what I was just using. Look at all that thread. These are some of my samples here. Now what's really neat about this is because the octahoops give you such control, you can actually follow along the pattern of a piece of material instead of doing basic stippling. So you have incredible control to follow around the actual pattern. This is a pillow that I created sewing yarn on with the sequins and ribbon foot. This was done with the satin edge foot. You can actually applique with cording. Same thing, this is satin edge again, the satin stitch and then straight stitch over it because you have such accuracy, and then the octahoops for doing the fill-in stitching. Satin edge foot again for blanket stitch applique. And next to it we have a veil. If you saw me on the It's So Easy show with showing you how to do wedding veils, it is a really fast and easy technique. And here's Christmas scarf. This is a scarf lesson in the YouTube channel. This is also on the YouTube channel. It's had a monogram on towels with a regular sewing machine, and that was done with a straight stitch, not a zigzag stitch. And this is another wedding veil where I used yarn on the edge. It's all a little bit wrinkled because we just arrived here at the PIQF show. This is a skirt, and we're right next to a trim company, and he's got fabrics and stuff here. Across the way, garments for you to purchase and wear. It's my thread dispenser. This is how I keep all my threads organized. While sewing, you actually feed directly to the sewing machine. This is the bridesmaid's purse pattern. This is what I just made for myself. This is all that was left of the fabric that I made a dress for myself, and that was all that I had left. And if you look close, you can see I actually pieced the lace fabric together before making it into a flap, adding a magnetic closure. It's hard to do this one-handed. And then there's actually a decorative zipper application in there. Can't do it one-handed. This is my snowman mug rug pattern, and it teaches you how to do in the hoop embroidery with a regular sewing machine, not with an embroidery machine. little Thanksgiving placemat. You can see how nice the satin stitch turns out when you use the satin edge foot. Come out to the show, come see it live. This was done with my sequins and ribbon foot. You piece while sewing the ribbon on, so it's crazy quilting. It doesn't get any easier than that, and you use the liquid-based glue to secure the foot and then stitch with ribbon right over it. This is a embroidery that my mother did using a coloring book, and she turned that into a Valentine quilt. It says free motion. It's not done with an embroidery machine. See what you can do with our octi hoops. This was done by a customer. She brought it in for me to see, and this is our invisible applique technique. You can see that fish there. How you can't see any stitching on it. And yeah, it was done applique and done with my satin edge foot. This is a pillow pattern that I'm going to be releasing, and it uses all three of the creative feet and the octi hoops stippled the surfacing, and see how it made that look kind of like a leather. And it's basically just a satin with stitching, and then trapunto applique on that ladybug. This is a modern quilt that I did for a modern quilt show that I did. And there you can see the octi hoops done, or I used the octi hoops to do flounder by printing on a sticker, sticking it down, and then coloring right over it on the octi hoops. With the octi hoops, you're able to also do pattern style quilting. And that's done with a regular sewing machine and a straight stitch, you guys. And then we have something along the lines of the stupendous stitching, which is done by Clara. She's one of the educators at Blueprint, formerly known as craftsy.com. And we have her book here because she uses our pearls and piping foot to do her stupendous stitching class. So if you haven't taken her class, know that it's a wonderful class, and also you can get her book at creativefeet.com. And we got the clip-its here. Those are lovely, and the applique products. So I think she's not here because she's in France, I think. So there's the basting tape, which I used on the It's So Easy show when doing the t-shirt transformation, and our video, which is also available on USB now. So there's the feet, sold separately, individual packaging with the adapters so they fit all sewing machines. And then we have specials where we group them all together. So you get all of the feet in one package and a set of adapters that makes them fit all machines. This is the Creative Feet workbook where you put your samples in. And basically you learn 88 different sewing techniques that I created, and get an in-depth lesson on applique. And these are available on our website as well. Hello everybody, are you having fun? Of course, our stabilizers, and then the octi hoop kit. And this is something I did with the octi hoops recently. So come out and see us at the Pacific International. That's TJ, right? TJ, right?
Yes.
Say hey. And here's my neighbor booth. They got this really cool booth over here. Oh my goodness. How cute. You're live on YouTube.
Perfect.
So say hey. All right.
Come on down.
Check this out. These are cool. We could make these with our satin edge foot, but they're here to sell them already made.
Yeah.
Cheap. It's a cheap.
You make them
All right. Well, I better go back to my booth. So I hope you all come out to Pacific International. I'm looking a little tired because I drove all the way from Arizona just to come see you guys. So come on out. Come join us.
That's okay too.
All right. Bye. Try not to make them sick.